You think in your heart of hearts that professional gamers are athletes?
Yeah, I think so.
They athletes. You're an athlete. That's what an athlete is, man. Chess. What those guys do is insane.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them athletes. They're competitors. And they're the best at chess. I really want that Jon Jones fight to go through, man.
His black ass ain't coming back.
I know he's in Thailand goofing around and stuff, man. He's such a troll. Yeah, he's just a goofy, isn't he?
You were different because you never went mouse to keyboard.
And all those keyboard guys, they started on controller too, and they forgot their roots. They left us, and they forgot where they came from. God damn it!
Oh, it's 15-time world champion Demetrious Johnson. You're listening to the MightyCast.
What's going on, guys? This episode of the MightyCast is sponsored by PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports game where you play directly from your phone. It's very simple. Go to your phone, go to the App Store, and download PrizePicks. And when you do that, make sure you use my promo code, MightyCast. Cool promotion going on right now. They got, if you play $5 in your lineup, whether it's mixed martial arts, NFL, we'll be back soon, NHL, baseball, you name it, they got it. You're gonna earn $50 no matter what happens in those events. And boys, mixed martial arts, International Fight Week, UFC is right around the corner. They're gonna have Ilya Topuria taking on Charles Oliveira. Amazing card. Make sure you guys get your picks in at the right place, which is PrizePicks. It's gonna make the fight night that much more special because you got some skin in the game, baby. So make sure you guys make the picks at the right place, which is PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this episode of the MightyCast. Let us get to the chat with my man, Nick Nickmercs. So I do jiu-jitsu. I try to do chest tries, back and buys, and abs and obliques. I try to do the whole upper body. You know, it's about beach body, baby. Beach body.
Come on, man. Get that 8-pack going. That's crazy. It's got to be a weird thing, though, right? Because you used to be in the game, used to have fights, and then now that you're retired, I wonder how that changed for you. You know, it's a crazy thought process, actually. I've thought a lot about that myself, too, just being done with the streaming stuff, you know? And like how it's going to change my life in my everyday, you know?
Well, we're going to get into that. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the MightyCast. We're adjourned by my man, Nick, a.k.a. Mercs. Nick, welcome to the MightyCast, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we spoke to each other in person was... The only time we ever spoke to each other in person was back when Fortnite was booming. When it was...
2018, 2017?
No, I felt like it was...
Yeah, man.
Was it?
It was a pro-am in... Where were we, man?
We're in California.
Were we?
Yes. You were... who was your teammate? Because you were the professional gamer, and then you were...
Andre Drummond, basketball player.
Yes.
And I remember the three of us got together, and look, man, I don't want to talk shit to you, but he was 8 feet tall, and then you were like 5'3". And then I'm like 5'11". I'm like, yo, this is insane, man. I'm going like this. I'm going like this. Like, oh my God, man. Wild.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing.
Well, it's crazy how big Fortnite was at that time, because I felt like it was the only game that brought people from different, avenues together, right? You had me, professional mixed martial artist. I was a champion at the time. You had the basketball player. You had Sean O'Malley, who was playing with Marshmallow. Then you had Marshmallow, who was a DJ. It was the only game. I don't think there's ever been another game in the history of video games that's brought that many people together.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that. Yeah, that was a big bridge. I don't know what it was. It just had everybody super comfortable to like collaborate. And for the first time in a long time, there wasn't like this bad view on being a gamer. You know what I mean? Like just a little nerd, People were like kind of proud to be a gamer.
Well, it's
for the first time ever. It was weird, man.
Well, I just think you say that it's very interesting because me growing up, I played games my whole life, and I was always considered a nerd that was super athletic. But I was going through Instagram, and the weekend he was playing fucking Donkey Kong Country 2. Between his he did his show, and then on Instagram he was playing Diddy Kong 2, and I'm like, my wife, she understands now about gaming, how it's my coping skills. It gives me an escape from, life. When you got 3 kids, wife, the YouTube, I don't stream as much as I I used to, but it's like, this is the only space I can go to and be Captain America and put up 44-5 in Marvel Rivals. That's the only space. That's the only space, right? Just give me this.
I hear it, dude. I hear it. Just get away from it all, man. It totally. And like there's so many athletes that do that. I mean, you guys just beat the shit out of your bodies 24/7. You're banged up. You don't want to go home and like, I don't know, be super active, right? You want to chill out and relax. And I mean, gaming is a great way to do that typically. Yeah. No, you're absolutely. That's why it's a great combination with a lot of athletes, and that's something that I've learned throughout my career, man. I just couldn't. I was so blown away at how many athletes were into my stream and would watch and would participate. And I started gaming with them. I met you. I met a bunch of basketball players, NFL players, and it's just mind blowing, man. There's been so many of those moments where it's like, oh, you watch me, dude. I watch you. What the hell is going on, man? This is insane. Wow, what kind of world are we living in? This is wild, Yeah. Because growing up gaming, you just never. I mean, I've been in this thing forever, bro. Like forever, ever. And we never. You can ask anybody that's been in gaming forever, and they'll always tell you. At least they should tell you that we never saw it being like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just having fun, man. We're doing what you were doing. We're just having fun. We're gaming with our homies, and it was a good time, and then it just kind of blew up, man. The internet blew up. There were a couple of, things that accelerated all that, but wow, to see the place that it's in today, to see everything that I have because of gaming and everything, the way I live my life is wild.
Well, let's go back to the beginning, right? Like, I know you started, I felt the one thing that you've done a lot of amazing things in your career in gaming, but I felt the one thing that kind of like elevated you, in my opinion, was that you were a controller player. You refused to go to mouse and keyboard, right? You're like, guys, don't worry about me. Like, I'm good, But take me to the very beginning of your career. What age you started playing video games? What was that first game that you started playing? Tell me, enlighten me, what is your story?
It's funny, man. We grew up. I had a lot of friends on the block. We'd all get together at my friend Tim's house. Actually, not Tim the Tap Man, but I had a different friend named Tim, and he was an only child, and he had all the games. I mean, he got everything, bro. He get both PlayStation and the Xbox, all the fun games, the controllers. So we'd all go to his house, and that's where it would go down, man. I mean, like, we just, at a super young age, man, I just kind of knew I was beating him up, man. I mean, I was beating him up. It was bad. I mean, I didn't even need a screen peek or nothing, man. I was beating the shit out them. And like, all my friends knew it too.
Yeah.
And then when Xbox Live came out, that's when it really flipped the switch, because now you can play. Now it's not just the block. You can play against the world.
Do you think?
That was when it got weird, man. Life got weird then.
Yeah. Do you think so? Your very first system was Xbox, right? And you guys were playing. I'm assuming.
No. What was my first system? The Genesis, maybe.
Okay.
I was like 4 years old or 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
I got like a home. I got like a home clip of me and my dad were playing, and my dad's like, "You think you can beat me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can beat you." He's like, "What? You think you can beat me?" I'm like, "I'm the best." He's like, "You're not the best." I'm like, "I'm the best." And I'm like 4 years old doing that shit,
Wow.
So from a young age, man, I just knew that I was really good at it.
Damn. And then so you went to Xbox and Xbox Live. That's where you knew it was like, okay. And what was the choice of game in Xbox? Was it Halo? Was it Gears of War? Let me
back up a little bit. We went from like, the Genesis to like, there was the GameCube.
Yep.
There was the N64. Remember GoldenEye and Perfect Dark Zero? Yeah, the greatness. And then I went to PlayStation, the first one, and then PS2. And PS2 had an online thing.
Yep.
And I got busy on there for a while. And then I went to Xbox Live. The first game that I got my hands on there was Unreal Championship. And it was really straightforward, man. Just you pick it, you got a couple different guns, a couple different guys with abilities and stuff, and you just on a team and you're playing. And there was this clan, R4, and they were really, really good, but they were older. But I was good and I wanted to be on their team. So they let me be on the team, and I would just do work, man, but they didn't want to talk to me because I was so young. But I'd just be carrying the shit out of them, but they don't want to say anything to me, and that was when competitive gaming just took off, man. And then I remember Gears of War came out. Well, like there was Halo. We were playing Halo, but I was a little bit too young for tournaments then. But that was when I was seeing like the Ogre 1 and Ogre 2. They were winning all those MLG tournaments. I remember thinking like, man, I'm all right. I could maybe go fuck around with that. And then Gears of War came out, and that changed everything. I went up to the GameStop. I wasn't old enough to buy the game. You had to be, maybe you had to be 18.
It was 6, I think, 18, because it was like rated mature or whatnot.
Rated M for mature. But the GameStop dude was mad cool with me, so he let me slide.
Yeah.
I rode up on that Haro bike. I said, I got $60 for you right now, man. Come on, man. So he hooked me up. I went back. I started playing Gears of War, and man, it was just like so easy, so quick, And then that was the beginning of all of it for me. I started going to small tournaments in my town, like little $200, $400, just cleaning house. And then we went to the MLGs, the online tournaments. We won like maybe 2K and then 10K and then 20K and 25K. And my parents were like, holy shit. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
My dad brought me to the side one time. He thought I was doing the drugs.
Yeah.
It's hell and drug. I'm like, Dad, it's not drugs, man. I'm doing these gaming tournaments, man. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. Then he pulled up to a tournament and he like saw all of it. And he was blown away. And my dad's a college football coach, man. So he gaming and all that. Like he was traditional sports. There was practice after practice. This was homework after homework. So this was very weird for him, very unorthodox. Like I was the black sheep of the family. He wasn't sure about it all. But look at it now, man. Now my dad's my biggest fan, and we have the best relationship ever, But it was tough to get it to that point. And it took a lot of like just going against the grain, like hard-headed on both sides, Well, we made it work.
I love the fact that he goes, all right, son, I know you're selling drugs. I'm going to come to this fucking tournament. He gets there. He goes, okay, I see you guys all playing. He goes, I'm just waiting for the first drug deal to go down. Where's the cocaine at? Come on. Well, that's
No. When you pulled up on an MLG event, I mean, it was official. It was huge. It was like, there were so many people there and so many screens. When he walked in, he was like, where the fuck am I, man? This is insane. So this is what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, man. And then he got a taste, right? So it wasn't like, what the hell's going on? No. I mean, as soon as you got there, man, you knew you were at an MLG event. It was big back then. Did you ever get to tune into any of those back in the day?
I did not. I felt like right when I got into it, it was right when like H1Z1 was like popping. And that's when everybody was like, oh, you should start an esports team. I remember there was Echo Fox. There were so many of them. There was one in Toronto, and they're like, you should buy a team.
What a great time for esports. Great time for gaming. H1Z1 was lit, but God. That was a little bit after that MLG era.
Exactly.
Like
and
that's a couple years. Yeah.
That's when I got into the esports, and then after that, you had Overwatch, Blizzard did its own thing, and then esports kind of like went away. It just kind of disappeared. You still had Dota 2. They kind of do their tournaments, but I never was into.
I hear what you mean. It changed. It definitely changed.
It's nowhere to be found. Like I felt like MLG, the Call of Duty tournaments were so big and so fun to watch on Twitch or YouTube, whenever you watch, because one of the biggest things that people would say is like, oh, you guys aren't athletes. I was like, the fuck they aren't. You know how much intelligence and how much hours and hand-eye coordination goes into playing that game?
Fucking athletes, DJ. Come on, man. I appreciate the love, man, but they ain't no goddamn athletes. It's out of your fucking mind, man. You're an athlete. That's what a fucking athlete is, man. These motherfuckers are nerds, bro. That's what they are, man. All right? We are nerds. No, I hate that. I hate that. I hate when
that comparison.
Yeah, I don't like the comparison, man. Because I've played a lot of sports growing up, and I have two cousins that played in the NFL. My dad played college football. My grandfather played college football. My little brother was a college athlete. There's so many athletes in my family. I went a different route, but I played sports in high school, and I know what went into it. It's just like, yes, there's competition, high level competition. There's some brain stuff that goes into both of them for sure. But you're not a fucking athlete, man. You're not. There's no speed. There's no agility. There's no strength. There's no stamina. None of that. I mean, there might be a little bit in the mind, but nothing. No, it's not. It's not athletics at all, man.
It's so funny. I think there'll be a group of people who would argue like, no, they are athletes, and I get what you come from, right? Because, like you said, I grew up track, football, basketball.
You and I are a great. This is the best of the conversation, though, because I'm a fit gamer.
Yep.
And you can play games, but you're a fucking champion.
Yeah.
MMA champion.
Yeah.
I mean, time and time over again. So we're two great people to have in this conversation.
Yeah.
And I can confidently tell you from my side, I don't view professional gamers as athletes.
Yeah.
They're just professional gamers.
I think it's so hard because, I know, I never forget when I was playing Street Fighter 6. at a very, I don't want to say a very high level, but the amount of time I spent understanding, what's it called? Data frames, and then the strenuous hours I'll put on, like, the hand-eye coordination, the rhythm, the timing, all that stuff. Granted, it's not a physical, like I'm not grabbing somebody and breaking their neck or anything like that, but the amount of hours I put into it, and the eyes, and the like, when I play Marvel Rivals, I fucking love that game because I'm like, okay, I got to find the person who fits my style best. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try Psylocke. Psylocke, okay, because I'm a rogue. I like to go out, do my own thing, come back, give me some... In and out. In and out. But I was like, this bitch can't survive. I was like, okay, let me try Captain America. And then I'm like, I got the Shield, I got USA, I'm saying Trump. I'm like, it's back. I put up 44 and 5. I'm like, this is amazing. He has survivability. And then, but the strenuous on the mind, it's like, okay, I have to disrupt the front line, put some DPS. When I'm ready to, I'm gonna jump up, jump in the back, disrupt, go out the, what's that bitch's name? Luna Frost, and then Cloak and Dagger. The healers to disrupt them, and then they start fighting each other. Hopefully, it's like you have to have the mental capacity to do it, where sometimes in sports, it's the same type of mental capacity strain on my mind fixation that I get from watching fights and when I do jiu-jitsu and fight. So that's where I'm like, no, you guys put the same amount of hours. It's not physical, right? Like, can I call someone who's 265, fat as fuck, fatty liver, overweight, diabetic, an athlete? It's going to be very hard for me to swallow that pill. But I'll give it to him, especially if he's making 6 figures a year. Okay, I know motherfuckers who are shredded, who are professional athletes. They don't even come close to 6 figures a year. So that's where I'm like, I like to think that the guys who game all the time at a very high competitive level,
you can't do it off cash. You can't do it off cash. No. I think what it boils down to for me is sport. Like athletics. Like what is a sport? Yeah, an athlete is a professional sports player. I don't think games are sports. I think they're their own thing. I have respect for professional gamers, and believe me, it's not easy to do what they do, for sure. I mean, it's a lot of strenuous on the mind, especially like an Apex or a Fortnite or a Call of Duty. There's so much going on as this thing is closing in on you. You got teams on your left, you got teams on your right, you got a position that you're in, a position you're trying to get to. You got a team on your left, a team on your right, and you guys are all doing this stuff together with 100 other players. Yep. So it's a lot going on, but that doesn't mean they're an athlete. You still, for it to be a sport and for you to be an athlete, in my opinion, yep, you need to have strength, speed, agility, stamina, endurance. All those things have to be involved in order for it to be a sport, and in order for the people playing it to be athletes.
Well, it's funny to hear you say that because you compete at the highest level of MLG. Right. And so obviously compare that to, the sports you did in high school, like the strength. Because how many hours did you train? How many hours did you clock in when it came to preparing for the next match at MLG with your team? Right. Because
so many. Yeah. Just every day, every night, just playing. We play scrims. And then as soon as the guy gets off, we do 3-on-3s. Then that guy gets off, we do 2-on-2s. That guy gets off, you're playing by yourself, just practicing shit. You're working on angles. You're working on cheese spots. You're trying to find any little crack in the armor that you can abuse on game day. Yeah, for sure. But man, okay, like, see, MMA, like, obviously it's a sport. Obviously you guys are athletes, but I guess to be able to find your true definition of where you think this, like, so you think in your heart of hearts that professional gamers are athletes?
Yeah, I think so. Like, if you're able to, if you're able to compete at a very high level, the best of the best, and you're cashing a check for, at least $50K or $120,000.
You keep bringing up cash.
I know because the reason why I keep bringing up cash, the reason why is because my coach at the longest time, he says athletes who say they're a professional athlete or professional fighter, let's just use fighters because that's the where I come from. You got guys, I'm a professional fighter. And it's like, you made 3 and 3. You made $6,000. That won't even cover fucking mortgage and your health insurance, my friend. Right. And so it's just the honest truth. Or you make 10 and 10. You got a mortgage. You got to pay Uncle Sam. I hear you. Yeah. And then my coach, my Matt's like.
So there's a lot of people in the MMA world that flex that pro fighter, but they're not making any money.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, my coach is like, you're not a professional athlete. He's like, when you're a professional athlete, when all you do to make all you do is that sport or whatever it is, and that pays your bills, right? Nothing else. And so for me, if you're professional,
so you like that, you like what your coach is saying.
Oh, 1000%. Because for me, even when I was in the UFC,
I gotta throw a crazy example at you.
Okay, throw it to me.
We gotta know what your brain is actually saying right now. Because a lot of guys just call everybody athletes in every sport or competition. Because a lot of these things aren't even sports, in my opinion. Like, I don't think professional gaming is a sport.
Yep.
I think it's a competition.
Yeah.
Like chess. I don't think chess is a sport.
Yeah.
I think it's a competition. And I have respect for it. And what those guys do is insane.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them fucking athletes. They're competitors. And they're the best at fucking chess, man. You know? So and I love this conversation because I have it with the stream often, and people get really they get like your comments on this video can get fucking amped up. But look, man, everybody has a different line.
Yeah.
So we got to find your line. I know where mine is. I told you: speed, agility, strength, endurance. So let me give you a couple examples of mine that are going to piss people off.
Okay.
I don't think golf is a sport.
I
know. I think it's a game. I think it's a game. I think it's a competition. And it's great. I love it. I play it. I watch it. I bet on it. I have friends that golf. I have pro golfers that fucking agree and don't agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think it's a sport. And people are going to fucking hate that. But, dude, like, John, what's that guy's name? John, what's his name? John Haley? This guy's like fucking 300. He's one of the best golfers of all time. He's like 300 pounds. He smokes. He drinks like crazy. And he beats this shit out of everybody in golf. I mean, what? Just saying that out loud. It's like, really?
That's peak. That's peak athlete performance.
People, shit, that's what they tell you on the stream too. But people get really mad at that. But that's how I draw my line. You know?
Yeah.
So you believe gaming's a sport. So we got to find something crazy. I'm gonna throw one at you. I don't even know if you can include this in your podcast, but I got to do it because I can't think of anything else more fucking ridiculous. Okay, let's say just for shits and giggles that a bunch of people are performing a job.
Yep.
An individual job. Okay, you got that person that are doing their job, that person that doing that, and it's a job competition. We have a fucking bracket.
Yep.
Okay, and you got to get to the end of it. Like, however, I'm not going to get into that part. However you want to do it, you got to get to the end of it. All right. Are they fucking athletes? Is this a sport? Is the job league official?
Oh man,
we got to know, man. Because I got to know. Like, is any fucking competition on earth just mean you're an athlete and this is a sport? Because I feel like you're such a respectful guy. It's funny because MMA fighters are always the nicest people outside the ring. Well, I mean, but fuck, man. I mean, you got to have some. Dude, you got to have some line in your head.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking hard because I seen fat guys fuck up the guy who has the stamina, who doesn't smoke weed, who drinks water.
I'm not saying you can't be fat and be athletic. Look at the guys in the offensive line who play in the NFL.
That is true.
Huge. And they're professional people movers, man.
Yeah, man. It's a hard one.
They're athletes.
Yeah,
it has speed, it has stamina, it has endurance, it has strength.
But even fighters, I've seen some fat, out of shape fighters who just are so knowledgeable, who study the game of jiu-jitsu, who are just intelligent, and then they put you. They don't have the speed, they don't have the athleticism, they don't have the strength.
You're fighting. Man.
Well, hey! I'm just
come on, man.
I'm just giving.
I mean, I like MMA, just any kind of fighting, combat sports is at the top of the pyramid here. Like, it's just, obviously that's a sport, and obviously you guys are athletes. I don't care what they look like. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I love that though, because
is it a sport?
Man, we gotta ask Bonnie Blue. We gotta ask Bonnie Blue. She's almost
I ain't talking to her, man. You can talk to I ain't talking to that lady. I'll stay away from that lady. You talk to her. I'm asking you, bro. Is it a sport or not?
I would say jobs is not a sport. I think that's
okay.
I'll say so.
Why?
Because it takes those. I never did before, and I'm not going to try. Right. But I don't know how much skill it takes to get somebody off. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know.
It's a technique and a flow and a strategy here.
Hey, careful there. Careful, because you're giving it more. You're giving it more of a boost. Okay, you're saying there's technique there.
By definition, but by your opinions, you could maybe insinuate that you think that this would be a sport and they're athletes. Ask your producer. Am I bugging? Where's that guy at?
Michael, we need you to get in here. We need your feedback, Michael.
Like, so I have to. You got to have a line somewhere, man. You know, yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I agree with you. I feel that in order to be a sport, I just know what it takes, and I'm sure you know what it takes to be at the top of the level when it comes to gaming,
especially,
right? Like you know it. I know it from mixed martial arts, right? And I have to put some form of respect because I can't do that stuff just like you could. No,
you can respect things without titleizing them incorrectly.
Yes, I agree with you. So for me, I totally understand where you come from, right? Like,
hey, no disrespect, by the way. I'm not saying that your opinion's wrong.
No, absolutely. We're vibing out.
The problem is whenever I have this conversation with somebody, they never truly know. Like, they don't know where their line is, but I know where mine is.
Yeah, exactly. And
most people don't give me like a line. I want a line. What? Okay, is chess a sport?
I would say, God, you know, with our line, with the speed, athleticism, stamina, and all that stuff.
No, that's my line. Your line.
Fuck, I'll probably say it is a sport. I'll probably say it's a sport just because of the strenuous and the hours and focus and putting somebody in a position where it's like, I'm going to force you to make a bad decision, right? Like,
fuck, man.
Like that's
no. The comments are gonna love you. They're gonna eat me up for this, man. You know, now I'm be the dickhead. It's fine though.
No, it's all good. Bro.
I'm staying on business.
NASCAR is a sport. Like,
it's a sport.
The amount of athleticism it takes in to get prepared and to hold the steering wheel to turn. I mean, tough, like I used to work for a guy who
you got to be strong in there, right?
Yeah,
you got quick, speed, stamina, endurance, agility, strength. Probably takes some strength. You gotta go. I'd hate that job, man. I would hate that job.
Why, be a NASCAR racer?
Oh yeah, man. God, I feel like at any second it can all be over.
Well, you gotta look at Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, MMA too, you know, but especially I feel like it's NASCAR. Fucking
hey, like they said, if you ain't first, you last, baby. If you ain't first, you last.
I would hate that job. Sheesh.
What's going on, guys? This episode of the MightyCast is sponsored by VIIA HEMP. Now, VIIA HEMP is a high premium hemp company that have many products from CBD gummies and even CBD gummies with THC, and it even has flower. Now, if you're trying to enjoy a good night, you want to have a good laughter watching a movie with the kids, sometimes I like to pop one of these bad boys and just have an elevated experience when I'm watching the movie. And if you guys want to see if VIIA Hemp is something that you might be interested in, check the link in the description below or go to viiahemp.com/mighty, and that's going to help you save on your complete order. And like I said, they have different products. We have the Flow State here, which has 20 milligrams of CBD, 60 milligrams of CBG, B12, alpha, GPC, and lion's mane, which this one doesn't have any THC, so there's no psychedelic, effect going on there. So once again, go to viiahemp.com/mighty. It's going to help you save on your complete order. Shout out to VIIA Hemp for sponsoring this episode of the MightyCast. Now, hope you enjoy the talk with this guest. Okay, now I want to get back on track. We got the whole, sports debate. No, hey, I
love that one. I love that one.
I do too, because I go back and forth between people all the time about, mixed martial arts. We should make more money. Everybody has a line on what aspect of what they're talking about, right? Like when it comes to...
Yeah, and when you're talking about something and you feel the type of way, you should be able to stand on business and explain the way you feel.
Absolutely.
And if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's right, but you speak on that. So
and be respectful to the other person's opinion and try to look at it from their side, their point of view.
Absolutely. Like golfers are insanely talented at everything that they do. It's just being a sport and an athlete, to me, is a little different. Same thing with gamers. I mean, gamers are insanely talented too. It's really difficult to be at the top of these leagues and time was said sports and these competitions, but they do what they do and they're the best at what they do.
Well, I always laugh. Like, one of the things that turned me off from baseball was this: when I was a kid, I would see Ichiro. He would sit there and eat, kimchi while he was in the den. I was like, he ain't no fucking athlete. Like, look, he's taking a longest break. He's sitting there just eating. He gets up and hits. And then I played.
Baseball's a funny fucking example because, other than the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter, and I'm just saying the majority of those guys are standing there for the majority of the game. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it isn't a sport. It's a fucking sport. So relax, everybody. All right? But It's a tricky one, man.
You're like you spend 85% of your career just fucking standing there collecting all this money. You're not an athlete. You just fucking stand for your professional standard.
No, their life is super fucking hard though, because they got like 200 games a year or something. So I heard you live in like a hotel and whatnot. So that'd be brutal. You play like twice in a day.
Yeah,
like two times a day sometimes.
That's the job you don't want. That's the job you don't want. Okay,
unless you got that contract that last guy got. God damn,
dude, the money,
$800 million or something.
It's like, where does that money come from?
I don't know his name. I'm not a baseball guy, but fuck, man.
Yeah, man.
It's 200 games a season, man. Imagine you fought 200 times a year. What's the most fights you ever had in a year, you think?
For me, 3 in 1 year. I fought in January in Chicago. Got surgery in July. I got surgery in March. Tore my labrum and my right shoulder or left shoulder, one of the two. Went in there, fix that up, clean up, 6 weeks recovery. Fight in July, and then turn around and fight in December. So I fought 3 times in 1 year.
When?
In January, July, and December.
Win.
First one was unanimous decision. Then the second one was an armbar, and then the third one was a knockout in the first round. So
insane, bro.
But in mixed martial arts,
surgery too.
Yeah, man. They don't build.
You gotta go.
They're not like, I always tell people, the athletes today. This is my opinion, and Michael could chime in on this. The athletes today in mixed martial arts aren't like the athletes back in the day. Meaning that when I would fight, it was like I fight January, turn around, get surgery, fight in July, then turn around and fight in December. And the reason why I fought so much is because I wasn't making a shitload of money. Where now, and I didn't care about like who I was fighting, wasn't trying to angle to get the right pay-per-view. It was just like, I was just running it. Where today, you see guys like, they'll fight once, and then they won't fight for a year, maybe 9 months. I mean, you look at Tom Aspinall, he hasn't fought in almost a fucking year. So it's just a little bit different. And
very different.
And I think if we made more money, like baseball or basketball, NFL,
you brought that up a couple times. I know it's a popular talking point in like just MMA in general. So how do you feel about all that?
It's
I'm on your podcast, so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
No. This podcast
I'm genuinely curious.
No, the reason I love doing this, like, it's just vibing out. Right? Like, I like to vibe out with the guests and, talk about the gaming. I think it's good. For me, it's a very interesting, I feel like we're in a very interesting spot when you talk about the money because, I do believe athletes should make more money. How much more? I do believe we should have, a bargaining agreement where it's like, hey, if, I'm headlining this event, I will love to get, hey, if you sell a drink, let me get 50 cents. Let me get a little slice of that, right? Kind of like how boxers do. Like Mayweather, he was very open about that. We don't get that in mixed martial arts. I think, there was a point in time in mixed martial arts where there was no, everybody talks about competition. You had Strikeforce, you had Pride, you had
all those ones.
All Elite XC, UFC, you had all these ones. But nobody was paying the same amount of money as a UFC. Like, I'll never forget, my coach was like, dude, we're not going to go fight in Japan at 135, 125 because there ain't no fucking money. We're going to wait until, like, you're going to fight for WEC, and then WEC got absorbed by the UFC. And when I fought for WEC, I made 3 to show, 3 to fight. I lost that fight, and then I broke my hand. I had to get an MRI, so I was basically in the hole in the first fight. But, you have athletes leaving their organization, wanted to come fight for the UFC because they paid the most money. Now, when I think about that, if one organization is paying let's put in a gamer's term, right? Let's say you have all these different organizations, but MLG was a big dick. Like they're paying $200,000, $400,000. The pot was better. You don't want to go, play for these guys. You're like, I want to go play for MLG because they're paying the biggest money. So I feel like in the UFC at the time, UFC did buy Pride, they did buy Strikeforce, right, to weed out the competition. But everybody still wanted to be at the UFC to make the most money. So and then it's like, you have a guy like Conor who comes in, he just fucking kills it. He brings the eyeballs. He made a shitload of money. Same as Ronda Rousey.
You're talking about your specific timing, right?
My timing. Yeah. My time.
Yeah.
Like,
now I get it.
Like
right? You low key, bro. It was kind of a bad time, like not bad time, but just not as good of a time to come up. I think I'd argue. I don't know. I feel like you're very underappreciated just in general.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And don't take that the wrong way.
No, I don't. No,
all that you've done and all that you've accomplished.
Yeah. Trust me, I don't take it in your wrong way. Yeah. It's hard because I appreciate the time I came up because it was like, I was hungry. I was fucking hungry. It was like, you're going to fight here. You're going to fight here. I can't. I got to get surgery. But after I get surgery, I'm going to fucking fight again. And I was, you're going to fight again. I'm like, let's fucking run it. Like, let's get this paper. And then obviously social media it is what it was.
It wasn't what it was.
Exactly. Right. And I'm grateful to go to that time because I was so focused on trying to be the best athlete and not trying to make the most money. Where, we had a person who we do a show together with, it's coming up soon. He was like, you being unappreciated in your career has made you more popular at the tail end of your career. That makes sense. Like now I'm the most popular I've ever been. People are like,
That's a good point, because now everybody that comes up in the MMA world, they're almost being trained to go like the Conor route in some ways or like another. Like you not that they're all like Conor, but they're just trying to do the most with their online presence, their X, their Instagram. There's almost like a thing to do, and it feels not as organic, I guess. It's not as real.
Yeah, I
not every time, but I just get that a lot of the times now.
Well, I feel that's just the power of social media. Like, I mean, you look at how much money you make on Snapchat, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. I mean, you're an amazing example to, like, you made your brand so fucking big off of your passion of gaming. And if you could do the same thing in mixed martial arts, it's like, here's two routes. You can go the route where Conor, he made tons of fucking billions of dollars, or you go the route of Demetrious Johnson where he didn't make not a fucking fraction of what he did. I think people are going to probably
let me ask you a question. Did you ever think that it was going to be everything it is today when you were fighting?
That's the first time somebody's ever asked me that. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's very important because people. No, it is because that means you loved it.
Oh,
and I'm not saying that people coming up and fighting right now don't feel the way that you did about the fight game.
Yeah,
but there's a component in there when like let me give you an example. Like when me and my friends were playing Gears of War 2, there was no money in it. Like we were really struggling. And, I mean, I was throwing my life away. I was 18 years old. I was living in my mom and dad's basement. Just a cliche gamer, right? And we had a tournament in Texas, and we couldn't buy plane tickets because we didn't have money, and I didn't have any way to get help. So we bought Greyhound tickets on the bus to go to Texas. And then me and like 8 friends all chipped in for a cheap ass hotel room.
Yep.
Just to play in this tournament. We were doing it for the love of the game, and we did it for so many years that way. And even when we streamed, like I turned my stream on way back in the day before Twitch was Twitch. It used to be Justin TV. I was one of the first ever partners. Nobody made money. Like no one made money. You were just kind of doing it to do it. And I had like maybe 100 people in there.
Yep.
But we did it because we loved it.
Yep.
And then oddly enough, boom, and we're right here. So it's like, okay, I mean, well, fuck yeah, right? Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
But we never planned it, and we never knew it was going to happen. And so, you know how they say that like ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
It's a big example of that. And for you as well, like you're crushing it. You're crushing it now, and you killed it in your career. But it's interesting to think about how the decisions that you made, and if it would have been any if there would have been any changes had you known it was going to be everything it is today,
Yeah. I know what I mean? Yeah, 1,000%. Like we do it for the love of it, right? I mean, like I said, oh man, I'm a professional fighter. I made 6 and 6. Congrats, you made 12 G's. That ain't shit. Like it truly isn't. And so like you said, I did
especially when you fight 3 times a year, max.
Yeah. It's nothing. And that's why today there's such a big proponent on fighter pay, where Michael is very outspoken about like, athletes should get paid a lot more in the UFC. And I'm like, dude, and this is the fighter mindset. I'm 5'3", 145 pounds now. Where the fuck else in the world am I going to be able to not have, I have some college education where I'm going to be able to go whoop somebody's ass 2 times a year and get, $750,000. Nowhere? Perfect. I'll just fucking fight. And, while the company makes a tons of money off you, like that's the struggle when it comes.
That's the struggle point.
That's the point, because it's like, there'll always be somebody else out there who will fight cheaper. And I always tell me and Michael always talk about, like, the UFC is a prime example where they won't build stars. Why not? You build a star. Okay. That star loses. Okay. Now it's
now what?
Now what? Right. But if we build the brand of the UFC, shit, you could throw this guy and this guy. He's in the UFC. He's one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon.
Right.
Everybody's gonna buy the pay-per-view.
Right.
The Apex Center. It's like
it's smart. It's smart. It's smart because they have this beast, man. This machine that they throw these MMA guys into, and it works. It really does work.
Yep. I mean, so since you follow the UFC, who are the fighters you like to watch nowadays? Because I know I be seeing your tweets on the nowadays. I know you're a big Max Holloway fan.
Well, yeah, I love Max, man. He's such a great guy. He's a big gamer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a lot of his fights, man. He's just so fun to watch. I mean, Gagey, Poirier. People don't, it's very controversial with the Khabib and Conor stuff. I love them both. Didn't you go over there and train with Khabib and those guys?
Nah, he was in Vegas. That's why I went to go train with him. But I
saw some clips of it, but it looks so cool, man. They look like they were vibing, bro. You guys were hanging out. It's cool.
Yeah, I want to go to Dagestan. I just got to find the right time.
I thought you went. I could have sworn you went. Okay.
No, it was in Vegas, but I do want to go do the Mighty Journey over there.
Man.
I know. That'll be great content.
Crazy. Go to like Khabib's school or whatever and just go crazy.
Did you see that? The school he just opened?
It's insane, man.
Dude.
It's so insane. Yeah, their lifestyle and the way they do business, just the way they do their thing in MMA is very intriguing, very interesting. Mm-hmm. I think to all MMA fans, it's like, damn, man, how are they always so good, bro? They're all so good.
I feel like they start from a very young age, right? It's
culture, right?
It's the culture. Yeah. I tell people, like, I didn't start doing any type of form of combat until I was in 8th grade, and I was wrestling. Other than that, it was football, basketball,
No
that's
way.
It. But when you're
I didn't know that. I thought you've been going your whole life.
Oh, no. I learned how to throw my first punch when I was like 18 years old. Like, okay, this is a jab, pop, not
bang.
Yeah, it wasn't. But over there in Dagestan, it's like, hey, you want to do sambo? You want to do, wrestling and all that stuff? It's introduced at a very young age. So that's why they have all these years as, a Sambo world champion before they even get into the UFC. So they're always going to be seasoned, right? It's just, if you come from that region, they're going to be, and they follow the whole path of like at a very young age, they're going to be fucking good. Like there's just no way around it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean that, and then I really want that Jon Jones fight to go through, man.
Jon Jones and Tom
Aspinall.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but I would love to see it. It's weird. I have a difference in opinions. Like always been a big fan of Jon Jones in the octagon. I'm outside the thing. That's whatever. You know what I mean?
Stand up base. Stand up base, baby.
Love the guy. You don't gotta love the guy, right? You don't gotta love the guy, and I don't. But I'm a big fan of him as an MMA fighter, and I would love to see him fight Aspinall. I actually think that he would destroy Tom Aspinall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that competitive of a fight.
Oh, well, hopefully they get it done. Right? It's the hardest thing because. Once again, there's so much money involved. There's legacy involved.
He wants to get paid, right?
He wants to get paid. Tom, like I said before earlier in the show, he hasn't fought in almost a year. Where there's, I always go back to when Jon was healthy and he was scheduled to fight Stipe Miocic. I love Stipe, and I'm like, man, in the code of mixed martial arts or the UFC, whatever it is, when you have an interim champion and a heavyweight champion, they're supposed to fight when they're both healthy. When we could have had that fight a long time ago. Granted, it's a lot bigger now. It has more substance to it. But it's like that fight should have happened a long time ago. Like
I know, but if you're the UFC, it's working out, isn't it? Fuck. I hate it. I hate that it's working, but it's working. I mean, everybody just wants it. It's so much more now that they're doing it this way, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You've been following the UFC for a long time. Do you think this is the best time to be a fan of the UFC? Or do you think it was back in earlier, I think 2011 to 2018? What is your peak? And the next follow-up question one after that, do you think UFC is at its all-time peak? From your standpoint, from, you're gaming all the time, you're not watching every card, but you're like, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question. I think maybe my favorite time to watch the UFC. Oh boy,
period.
Watching Jon. Yeah, I'm thinking of Jon Jones's career, GSP, and all those crazy fights with BJ Penn, and I mean that was a crazy time back then. But that was when I was graduating high school. Mm-hmm. That was when I was really getting into it. That was the beginning for me personally. I love the Khabib Conor stuff.
Yeah, that sure was fire. That
put the whole thing on 10. I don't know if I have a specific. I mean, I just love it. I love going to the fights right now. Me and my family, we go for the whole card. We have a great time. I get that. I get the way they're doing it now. Like there's just, it's like, it seems quicker, sped up, there's not these people that there's not a lot of Conors at the moment. There's not a lot of, there are, but there aren't. It's a whole different game. So I get kind of what you mean. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it a specific time period, but I do love the UFC. I love going to the fights. It's a lot of fun for me, man.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, well, I always like to ask people because there's some people that's like,
you said 2011 to 2018 is your favorite.
That's probably my favorite because you had the GSP, you had the Matt Hughes, you had myself, Joseph, Dominic Cruz, you had TJ Dillashaw, you had Hannah Barral, you had Jose Aldo, you had Chad Mendez. I mean, you had Luke Rockhold, you had Yoel Romero, you had that's when Izzy first came into the thing.
I love that Adesanya Pereira stuff.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, I just now, I feel now, if my opinion, I think now it's probably not. There's not as many stars, right? It's like back in the day, it was like.
You still got Jon Jones. You got Jon Jones.
His
in there
black
right
ass
now.
ain't coming back. He's, he over there.
You don't think so?
I just don't know.
I know he's in Thailand goofing around and stuff. Man. He's such a fucking troll. Yeah, he's just a goofy, isn't he? God, he's just the greatest though, man. It's so fucking
I just don't know if he's coming back, right? I would love to see him come back and fight Tom. I really want that I really want to see a fight as a not just as an analyst and create YouTube content. I just want to see it because as a fan, right? I love seeing Jon Jones fight 2 to 3 times a year, or GSP fight 2 to 3 times a year, or even Jose Aldo fight more often, but you don't see that as much anymore. So it's kind of hard for me to, get on board with the stories because for me, it's all about storytelling. Where does this
UFC does a great job of that too. I mean, they really fucking crush it,
Yeah. And so for me, they don't have as much storytelling like Anderson Silva, and Vitor Belfort. I mean, then the TRT, sagas where it's like, look at this athlete. He's fucking shredded. He's not shredded. Holy shit, he's shredded. Oh, he's not. It's just that whole, and then the Jon Jones versus DC and hey, pussy, you still there? He goes, you're just
crazy, man.
God,
that was cinema, man.
Cinema.
Perfect.
Just pure cinema.
Perfect. I know we need that stuff back. No, you're right. And right now there's not a lot of it.
Yeah.
Heavyweight division's weird because of that. Light heavyweight's a little strange too.
Yep. So, but it's all good. Let's get back to gaming. Okay, so you become a professional gamer at MLG. Talk to me about you transition into just being a full-time streamer as Twitch. Talk to me about that because I try to do it. I bow down. I fucking bow down, man, because
you don't do it no more?
Fuck no. No, I don't stream anymore. No. Dude, the amount of hours, I never forget, the most subscribers I had, let me tell you my schedule and I'll tell you why I stopped. Even though I love gaming. Gaming is my first love. I would come, this is my stream schedule. I will wake up, go to the gym, do my first strength and conditioning. After that, I will go next door. I had a laptop, a gaming Xbox. I would plug into Twitch. I would stream from basically noon to 3:30 playing Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3.
Wow.
On Xbox. It was probably Dark Souls. I would do that. Or Killer Instinct 1.
Dope.
I would do that. Or not Killer Instinct, but Killer Instinct for Xbox. From 12 to 3:30. get ready for the next training session, train from like, 5 to 7, drive home, get home, kiss my wife, shower, eat, kiss my wife, go back downstairs, stream from like 9 to 11. I would do that like 4 days a week. And I never forget, I think the most subscribers I got to, or paid members, was like, I think it was 2,000 paid subscribers. And after I got done,
that's great.
That was great. But I was like, dude, I have no life. I'm not going to bed with my wife. I'm not hanging out with my kids. I was like, the amount of money I'm making from streaming is not worth the sacrifice. I'm not being able to, and I'm already
very hard to do all that, and then you have kids.
And kids,
I won't lie.
And I was like,
kids do you have again?
At that time, it was 2. So I didn't even have my third one. And I was like, you know what? I'm done.
You got 3 kids? Nice.
I got 3 kids. Yeah, 2 boys and
awesome,
1 girl. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I know you just had one.
Well, it's a lot. Yeah, I did. It's a lot. It's a lot when you have kids because everything changes, right? I mean,
yeah. And I was a full-time fighter. And I was like,
fighting.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do it. I was like, I bow down to people, and I loved it because I met the most amazing people that I still talk to this day. Like, I would do, the streamer meet up with, Rylan and, all the boys, Nightwalker, and we'll do the TwitchCon stuff. But it just wasn't something that I didn't feel was sustainable to have a healthy marriage, a healthy career. So I was like, I stopped streaming. And then I took a long hiatus I still gamed, but I never streamed on Twitch, and I wouldn't post any YouTube content. I was just focused on fighting. And then
hashtag dad life, man. This is dad. This is dad right here, man. That's who's talking right now.
Yep.
Dad.
Coming home. Trust me, I would love to wake up, and every once in a while I'll do it. I'll wake up on Saturday morning, everybody's still sleeping. I was like, I'm about to clock in 4 hours on the fucking game PC right now. Come upstairs, musty as fuck. That's just like, did you work out? I was like, just a little Marvel. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah, a little Captain America, That's funny. Yeah, no, I love hearing all that because I totally get it. You have kids, everything changes. All the old heads would always tell me, Nick, as soon as you have kids, everything changes. I know I just said that. It's not that everything changes though. It's just that, like, the way you view everything changes. Like your thought processes, the way you digest the world, the way you take it in, the way you give it back. That is what changes, So for me, yeah, like we had our first 2 years ago. We got another one on the way, and yeah, man. I love to stream. I love to game still, and I do it, but not even close to the amount of time that I used to do it. So that's changed a lot for me,
But at the beginning of it, how many hours were you streaming a week? Like
in the beginning, it was completely different. I mean, I had to give my life to it because I was doing that already, throwing away everything. I mean, like, I was doing community college. I did horrible at that. I was doing I had a part-time job at a gym, horrible at that. I mean, just all I ever wanted to do was game. And it took me away from everything, man. Like my friends, my family. So I was throwing it all away just to game, but I didn't know that it was ever going to do this.
Yeah.
And in doing that, and then it started to pop. I was like, holy shit. Now I'm on this kick, and I'm fucking moving, I'm flying. And then I got like 100 subscribers. And then I got 200. And then I got 500. And I'm telling my dad, like, Dad, I don't know what's going on right now, man. But like, people are really, they're fucking with me right now, man. They're fucking with me. I don't know. And I didn't even know that it was ever going to be like this. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? And I'm just having fun with it. And I'm trying to like give back to these people that are just on the internet. They're giving to me. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to throw a tournament for them. Let's put them on a tournament. If they win, they can get this fucking Amazon gift card. And I'd do that. And we'd all have a blast. And everybody be having a fucking ton of fun. And I talk to them online. I get to know them. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to be at this event. Are you guys going to be there? Yeah. Okay. I'll buy a pizzeria out and we'll all have pizza on me, cause you guys, and then it just kept going and going and going, and the momentum, and I'm playing these tournaments, and I'm doing me, and I'm doing the thing that I fell in love with doing. And it just dude, like from 2012 or 2011 maybe to now, it just went boom, 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 boom. And it just kept growing, I think, until I had my son.
Wow.
And that was when I was like, okay, look, I mean, I'm putting all this time into this stuff, I mean, I'm doing 40, 50 hours a week on stream. This is not now, but this is when I was grinding.
Yep. I'm
doing all these hours on stream, and then I go and I do my YouTube intros, and I'm doing my Instagram small clips, and then I'm on, sponsor calls, and I'm talking to my agent. And when you get done with the week, bro, like, people laugh because your hands don't look like this. I mean, it's not like hard. It's not hard labor, Like I'm not with a shovel and an axe. It's gaming, right? But like, dude, your brain gets fucking cooked, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's so much screen and so much, and then when you're on the stream, there's thousands of people, and you're doing all these fucking things, and you're loving it, you're having fun. But then when you get done with it, it's like whoosh.
Yep.
Whoa. And then you come down from this fucking high. Like, I would imagine it'd kind of be like for you, like when you're in the fight, you fucking doing all the stuff you're doing, corner, sponge, ice, this, that, okay, win, doing, boom, interview, yay, welcome back, hi, how you doing? And then you finally get in that locker room, door closes, whoosh.
Yep.
And there's your wife. You're like, hey, honey, I fucking did it. Like, I'd imagine, like, and not that every stream is like comparable to a fight, but in my mind, it's like my day, when I was full-time streaming and doing the full-time YouTube and full-time everything. And like, you have The Rock. That's another thing too. You got to talk about, like, you know that you have The Rock, not only for you, but for your family and your friends and all your people, like your dad. I bought my dad a home. I bought my mom a home. I bought my cousin a home.
That's fucking crazy.
I take care of everybody around me, but I have the ball, me.
Yep.
I decide if it goes forward, if we go backwards, if we're getting a touchdown, if we're getting a field goal. It's my fucking possession. So, I, like, for a long time, I was in that period of my life, and I still am. But like, yo, dude, I fucking have it all, man. I mean, we've absolutely crushed it, and I have a lot of smart people around me with investments and other things. It's over.
Cinema. I love to hear it.
It's over.
Well,
it's over.
That's fucking awesome. I love to fucking hear that, because it's not the same, because I see people who started streaming when I did, and they're still streaming and they never broke over 200 viewership. Or, sometimes I go on Twitch just to see, like, oh, who's still streaming? Is this guy still streaming? They'll have 60 viewers. And I'm like, dude, it's a hard life. So to hear that you were able to take care of your family, everybody around you, and you still are killing it, like, it warms my heart, because just like in fighting, it's not everybody makes a lot of money, right? Like, you're able to buy a house.
Yeah, and it's not guaranteed.
Yes, it's not guaranteed. And for you to stick with it, and I felt like you were smart because you branded yourself, right? Like,
well, I got to give, I really, like you said, you met a lot of great people in gaming. There are a lot of great people in gaming.
Yeah.
There just are. There's a lot of really awesome fucking people, dope humans in these gaming communities, man. And they're so supportive, and they just want to be entertained, and they just want to learn and get better, or whatever it might be. And, they're very generous in these streams. And it's because of all these fucking people, man, that have come through my channels and just showed so much love that I'm in the position I am in today. And I think a big part of my success was the fact that, I wasn't ignorant to that. The whole way through, I knew I was here because of this. So I made sure to take care of my family, take care of my friends, and I'm going to take care of this goddamn community. I mean, bro, I spent $500,000 out of my pocket for a Florida, greet and meet thing where you can pull up and you get free food, free drinks, free games. There was games everywhere. And if you got a good score in the game, then you won like $400 or $500 cash. Like, I'm giving it. I mean, we would do $10,000 giveaways like every other fucking thing on stream, so I've given away a lot of stuff, and not only that, but we've taken my platform. I had all these fucking viewers, man. I mean, I would be gaming with Timmy and Clocky during fucking COVID. I've had 80,000 people in the stream on like a Tuesday at 10 a.m. Like, what?
Yep.
So I'm like, let's do some tournaments for people who don't have this viewership. Let's fucking try to put them on.
Yeah.
And people that have viewers now, they'll all tell you they all played in my fucking tournaments. I mean, I don't take all the credit for their success, but it was because we put those fucking terms together. They got a chance to showcase their ability and their skills. So not only do I give back to the people that have given me everything, but I give back to my communities. I try to take care of everybody from every angle that has gotten me to where I am today,
Yep.
I think that was a big component as to why maybe the people that you're talking about being successful in gaming, like why I was so successful. Cause I fucking took off, and I think that was a big driver of that.
Well,
truly.
I think another thing that I saw that was, that elevated you too, is that you see it in comedy, right? Joe Rogan, Cat Williams talked about it with Shannon Sharpe, is that you have like Joe, you have Joe Rogan, and he'll help his his circle around him, like uplift everybody, right? It's like, hey, I'm doing this show. I'm the opening act. Hey, I'm going to have, this gentleman who's up and comer help this guy out, right? Like you guys would, be you, Tim the Tap Man. You might play with Doc. You guys will collab together and it'll uplift everybody, right? And that's one thing that you really don't see. It's kind of hard to do in mixed martial arts because everybody's fighting each other. But that's one thing that inspires me. It's like, man, you got to take care of the people around you. You might look at them as your competitors, but it's also a person you can actually create content with, right? Where it's like you guys up with each other. It's like, hey,
all ships rise. That's always been the mentality.
Exactly.
And we all know that, man. Like when let's say Timmy has like a hashtag ad tweet, Clocky and I will try to respond to it just to show it love. Like, hey, LOL, and we'll try to make it funny. It's small things like that, man. We just try to help each other out as much as we can,
Yeah, I love that. So how is it streaming now? You have a child and you have one on the way. You're married. How is it now compared to when you used to do it, right? Like how many hours are you streaming now?
It's great. It's great. No, it's great. It's so great. I'm chilling, man, because dude, I just get on and the sole purpose is to have fun.
Yep.
Like remember why we fucking did this my whole life, man. Just get on, have fun, do your part. Right. And then log the fuck off. And that's what I've been doing, man. I've been getting online, just having a good time with the homies. And then I'm focused on being the best dad that I can be, the best husband that I could be. I want to be a super present dad. I want to be here as much as I can for my little man. And I have 2 boys now coming. But, hey, I want to be here, man. So I don't want to stream all those hours and do YouTube. I don't want to fucking do that. And I don't have to. Yeah. And I had a conversation with my wife. I'm like, look, man, we've crushed it. And we're going to still put a little bit into it. Like I'm still doing like 20 to 30 hours a week of like streaming, maybe YouTube, like we did a vlog, like that counts, Yep. But I'm trying to be very, very much part-time.
I love that. And so here's another question, and then I'm going to let you go. I mean, I can go on all fucking day and talk to you, right?
Same.
I know you got responsibilities.
No, you're good. Yeah.
What I've been asking a lot of athletes, professional athletes, or in their respective fields, what did you do with your very first check that you got from gaming? Like for me, from fighting, my very first check, I was like, I'm gonna go buy a laptop from Best Buy, baby. We done made it. It was like $450 to show, $450 to win, right? What was your very first check?
God, dude.
I know. Don't.
Was it actually that? Oh Lord.
So what was your
that shit for sure? Fucking A, man, a rack. God.
So what did you do with your very first check, and then what'd you do with your very last check?
Both went to the same place, man. The bank account. I think, but like to give you a better answer though, I was living with my dad. I was saving my money, and the first big purchase I ever made was I bought my dad a home. That's the first big purchase. No car, no clothes, no fucking house. I was living with Pops.
Yep.
But we needed an upgrade, man. We were in like a fucking 2-bedroom apartment. It was tough times. So we had to buy a crib. I bought that crib.
That's what's up.
It's the first thing I did with like when I had enough saved up, and I think it was around $300-400K. And
Damn.
I saved it, man. I never spent nothing, bro. I just put it away.
Wow.
And the whole time I'm just grinding my fucking ass off. It was a blur. It's a blur. I'm just going. I'm fucking going. I know I got the ball. I'm going.
Yep.
My last check hit the bank. Whole Foods. Goat milk for the little man, bro. Cheddar bunnies, goddammit.
Oh, I fucking love that, man. Well, Nick, I appreciate every single bit of your time. I know you're busy with the stream schedule. This is your opportunity to let people know how they can find you, how they can support you, what you got on the horizon, any more tournaments. The floor is yours, brother.
Floor is mine. I appreciate that, man. You know what, bro? I'm just going to take this time to say thank you for having me on. I'm a big fan, bro. You got a lot of fans in gaming. You got a lot of fans around the world, and you are a legend, man. And to be up here with you, to talk to you like this, and have you hear me and me hear you, it's a super special experience, man. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that shit. And I had a great time.
No, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I follow all your content, and I'll never forget when you're playing. Like the best part is like, because my producer, he doesn't come from the streaming culture. right? And you had a very unique streaming camera. You would only have the top of your eyes. You're like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the fuck out that shit.
Right there.
And even if I was really locked in, it'd be like this.
Yep, you couldn't see you. You couldn't see you. And then after the match over, you sit back. He goes, "Come on, chat. I mean, da da da." And then you were different because you never went mouse to keyboard. You were gung-ho about, guys.
Controller gang, man.
Controller game. Like, I'll beat your fucking ass with a controller. You can have the mouse and keyboard. And that was like, that inspired a lot of people to not go to mouse. My boys, they still play on the controller. They refuse to go to.
And all those keyboard guys, they started on fucking controller too, and they forgot their roots. They fucking left us, and they forgot where they came from. God damn it. Controller game.
Yeah.
You forgot about your homies, bro.
Yeah, I left. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I can't do it. Only time what's
that game you played? What was your favorite game again? It's a keyboard game. You can't play a controller.
I played World of Warcraft. I played
WoW.
WoW. Yeah. You can't play.
You can't play that controller.
No. So that's
okay then. Yeah, it's fine. You can't even play that controller, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's what transitioned me out.
If you could like these motherfuckers playing keyboard and mouse on Call of Duty, bro. On Call of Duty. Call of fucking Duty.
Sorry, dog. That's me now. That's me.
Yeah, I know, but man, Call of Duty 3 on the fucking Xbox.
Yeah,
it was controllers, man.
I know, but I can't.
It's cool. It's all right, man.
I can't even go back, dude. I tried going back to controller. I couldn't do it. I lost my touch. I lost the touch.
Too much respect for you to be upset about this, man. Don't worry. It ain't gonna get me. But bro, I appreciate you having me on, man. You're the fucking GOAT.
Yep, absolutely. All right, boys.
Thank you, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the MightyCast. I am your host, Demetrious Johnson, and that is our guest, Nick Nickmercs. Make sure you guys go follow him on his Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Amazing content. We'll see you guys in the next episode of the MightyCast. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the MightyCast. And this is the part of the episode where we recap everything that we just went through with our guest. And our guest was Nick Nickmercs. So right off the bat, if you guys have not followed this man on YouTube or Twitch, do yourself a favor, follow this man. Absolute amazing gamer. And he creates some amazing content, not just around gaming, but, it's a vlog. I think he just did one Navy SEALs training. But I wanted to talk to him because, before I became one of the best fighters in the world in mixed martial arts, I still am a true gamer. I gamed all the fucking time. Gaming is my first love, and it'll always be my first love because it was a way for me to be able to entertain myself, coming from a family where we didn't come from money, right? Our form of entertainment was every night sitting around a Super Nintendo, playing Street Fighter 2, playing Super Ghosts and Ghouls, playing Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda, A Link to a Past. Like, that was my upbringing. And I did get back into gaming more as an adult when I found out about Twitch. And along those journeys of me streaming on Twitch, I came across Nick Nickmercs. I met him before, like we said in the MightyCast, at the Fortnite big program. And ever since then, before then I was always a fan, but to meet him and his dad, he was there with his dad in the suite. We're talking and we've always vibed out. And we've been trying to get this, this collab going for a very, very long time, but schedules, never aligned, but it finally did. One of the things that I loved about it was his upbringing of gaming and how he was able to take care of all of his family around him, his dad, his cousins, his family. And he's at a point now in his life where he can chill, where, when you look at mixed martial arts, there's a lot of people who grind, and they never get the opportunity to actually buy their mom a house or dad a house. Like, they barely make it to the UFC and start making a lot of money. And to see him, start from nothing and get to a point where he's able to take care of everybody around him was cool to hear about. And the fact that he pointed out, he goes, let me ask you a question. Did you ever think fighting in the UFC, it would ever get to the point where it is today, which is a multi-billion-dollar, company where the brand is so massive, you have, guys, fans don't even know those athlete's name. They just know him they label him as a UFC fighter. So the brand is so massive. In the beginning of the time when I started training mixed martial arts, I did not think that the sport or the brand would get this big. And he pointed out, he goes, that's when you did it for the love of it. And I'm happy to hear that, because I did truly do mixed martial arts or train mixed martial arts and compete just for the love of the sport. Because when I first started fighting as a professional fighter, my first paycheck was $5 to show. I think it was $250. I think it was $5 to show, $5 to win. Maybe $1,000, and then you keep on winning. You go to Alaska, and you make another check for $750 to show, $750 to win. You're not making any money. Then when you finally make it to the big leagues as they call it, you're making $3 to show, $3 to win. Your MRI costs $3,000, and then you break your hand and you lose, so you're negative. It's like you truly have to love mixed martial arts in order to pursue it as a full-time career. There's a guy in the gym. He's undefeated as an amateur, very, very good kid, very, very young. And he decided he didn't want to fight anymore. He goes, I just don't think it's conducive to my lifestyle because I'm fighting somebody. And if I beat them, I'm taking their dreams away. Like, I feel like I can fulfill my life doing other things instead of beating people up. And I was like, I said, I'm glad you had that, that train of thought, because that's essentially what it is when you get to that league, is that when you're fighting for the money. And then if you beat this person, he's going to get less money. It's not like in basketball, like, oh, hey, we're all playing basketball. Hey, you're making, 8 million, you're making 10 million, I'm making 35 million. Whether who wins or loses this fucking game, we're all going to be on a yacht and sipping, the finest champagne. It's not like that in mixed martial arts. It's like, hey, if I win, you're going to have your fucking check. If I lose, I'm getting half my check and you're getting your full check. That's why I think that mixed martial artists will never come band together, because if I win, you get less. If you win, I get less. And I think that's, made a very nasty turmoil to your peers or everybody that you fight with or you train with. It's like, you're getting less if you lose, and you're getting more if you win, and the person on the other side is getting less or they're getting more. So you already built this type of nasty rapport with somebody else if you're fighting them. But it was very interesting to him to point that out. And once he pointed that out, it kind of made me go down the path like, okay, why aren't athletes unionized? Why does athletes, you see it all the time, they put this person down, they uplift them, they're never uplifting each other, like he said. And that's one thing that was very interesting that he says, like, all boats rise, right? Like, if I help this guy out, then he's going to help me out, and then we're going to elevate each other. And that's what you saw, kind of like his career did, like him, Cloaksy, Tenant Tapman, even when he would play Doctors Respect, they would all play together, collab with each other, and then their fans would become fans of each other. Like Doctors fans would become Knicks fans, and then Knicks fans would become Tim the Tapman's fans, and Tim Tapman fans become Knicks fans. Like, it was a big giant circle that they uplift each other. And you see it even today when you look at, the fighting nerds. You have these guys who are all together, they're collabing together, they train together. One nerd wins, they all four win. When one nerd loses, they're all kind of sad about it. Like, it's like a brand that they're building together. It's you see it more in streaming. You don't really see it in fighting because they're always fighting each other, right? Like, you look at it. Kyoji Horiguchi just signed with the UFC, and he was like, hey, I'm okay fighting Alex Pantoja, right? Or you have Patchy Mix, who just signed with the UFC, and he says, hey, I'm okay fighting Marab. Right there, they have to fight each other in order to get better. Where in streaming, it's different. They don't have to try to compete with each other. They vibe out with each other, and they elevate each other. So that's one thing that I think mixed martial arts can use. But then again, it's a sport where they're fighting each other. Speaking of sport, guys, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. What do you guys clarify as a sport? As Nick said, it's about speed, stamina, strength, agility, all those things. Where for me, I feel like if you're a professional gamer and the strenuous hours that you have to put into learning how to every ins and out of the map and learning how to, line up this shot. Okay, this gun shoots at this burst of rate. All those things, I will put him as a sport. But I'm not going to lie. When he starts talking about golfing, when he starts talking about, chess and those things, there's a part of me where it's like, man, I can't, it's hard for me to put it in a sport category. But when I think about how many hours and how many, he makes a wrong move, I take advantage of this and da-da-da-da, it puts in a sports category. So maybe you guys can help us solve this debate. Leave a comment down below and let us know What do you guys clarify as a sport? And put down in the comment section below, like, hey, this is what I clarify as a sport. These things are not sports. These things are considered a competitive, event, or whatever you want to call it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation with Nickmercs. I had a great time, chatting with Nickmercs. I love to step outside of the bubble, outside the box, and not always talk to the next upcoming athlete. I love to talk to guys who have inspired me or guys that I've enjoyed watching and I still watch to this day. And Nickmercs was one of those guys. And he's also a big fan of the UFC. I mean, he watches all the time. He's going to be International Fight Week. He's going to have a suite there. He supports the brand. He supports the mixed martial arts community. So boys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the MightyCast, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. And please get active in the comments because I want to know what you guys think. Do you think, golf is a sport, or you think it's just, a gentleman's, hangout session where you smoke cigars and swing your 9-iron? I am your host, Demetrious Johnson. The producer, Michael Bonds over. He's out there working hard, getting things ready for you guys. The guest was Nickmercs. Make sure you guys follow him, support him as well. We'll see you guys at the next episode of the MightyCast.